Hello and welcome to RPI Consultants' demonstration of PROFORMA. PROFORMA is a rapid deployment forms utility to be used for quickly building and deploying forms for your organization. This demonstration is going to go over how to quickly build a job application form just as a demonstration and show some of the features of PROFORMA. What you're seeing here is the PROFORMA demo website. On the left you have a toolbox that has a number of different field types in it, from text fields to pre-formatted fields for numbers, currency, or phone numbers, date, times, etc., on down to more advanced usage such as allowing connectivity to a database or scripting certain actions. Here in the main area you have the actual form canvas. This is where we're going to be building everything. Along the bottom you have the ability to start a new form, test the form you're currently working with, or save or publish this form. So as I said, we're going to be building a job application. So quickly, this should only take about 10 minutes to build a whole functional form. I'm going to start by titling this first section. This is what we start with, so I'll say applicant information. And then in this first field, this is a text box, so I'm going to enter a label, name of position. I want to actually add a field to the right of that for the desired wage, so I'm going to click this insert column. And in this box I will come over here to my toolbox. I'll select the box where I want it to appear. I want to make this a currency. Say desired hourly wage. And then on the right I'm going to say desired, I want this desired start date. So I'm going to do a drop down date, say desired start date. Alright, so that's the first part. Then I'm going to add a whole nother row here so I can start capturing applicant information. Add a row, select the first field, I'm going to capture the applicant's name. So I'm going to add a text field, last name, another text field, first name, and finally a third text field for middle name. And then I want another row, so I'll click the down arrow over here. And you'll see as I mouse over various sections of a form, different options pop up. If I needed to delete a field, I could click the icon next to it here, and that would just delete it. And then the options for a field are in the little gear icon on that field. And we'll dive into that here shortly. And then finally another row for phone number. So I'm going to say I have a control field here for phone number. Select that. Say phone number. To the right of that I'll add an email address. And to the right of that I'll do a secondary phone number or alternate. Okay. Now I have a few questions I want my applicant to answer as well that I can, yes or no questions that I can use to drive other actions in the form or for my business decisions. So I'm going to add one more row for applicant information. I'm going to use a yes-no answer and say, are you eligible for employment in the U.S.? Pretty common application question. I'm going to add another one that says, are you able to provide a valid driver's license? And then a third question, are you available to work overtime? Okay, now maybe I want to add some instructions to this form so that anybody who's happened upon it knows what they should be doing to fill it out. So maybe I add a row here at the top where I can enter some text, right, just for some instructions. Now I need another section. I want to capture references for the applicant. So I'm going to add a whole new section. I'm going to come to the top of my toolbox here, click New Section. I'm going to name this Professional References. And for this I want a repeating section of fields so that they can add as many or as few as they want. And we can actually even set a minimum required number. So if you want 3 references, you can set that up. But here I'm going to add a new repeated grid. I'm going to delete the blank section. Okay. And in here, I want to add 3 columns. So I'll do that. Click the arrow twice. And I'm going to add a couple text fields. So the first one is reference name. The second one is relationship to reference. And then in the third column, I just want a phone number. So I'm going to do US phone number. Let's say contact number. Okay. Finally, I want to add the ability for, or even a requirement for my applicant to attach a resume and maybe even a driver's license. So I'm going to add another section and title it Attachments. And I'm going to give it 2 columns. And in the first one, I'm going to come down here to the bottom of my toolbox and select File Attachment. I'm going to call it Attach Resume. All right. And I'm going to go into the settings. I'm going to say that it is required so that they have to attach at least a file. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here for file attachment. Attach driver's license. Okay. Now, maybe I only want that driver's license to be attached if they answer this question in the first section, are you able to provide a valid driver's license? Maybe I only want it to be visible if that's the case. Here's where we get into some of the cool features of the PROFORMA forms that are really easy to build out without really programming knowledge or anything like that. What I need to do is come up here and name this field, and it's good practice to name all of the fields anyway. But to name it, I'll go into the settings. I'm going to call this driver's license question. I'm going to copy that. Hit apply. I'm going to come down to the field that I want to be conditional on whether how that question has been answered. Go into the settings for it. I'm going to go to the validations and alerts. I'm sorry, into the formulas section, and you see the visibility here. All I have to do is type $, DL question, the name of that field, equals true. And what this is going to do is make that field visible based on the answer to this question. Now maybe I also want to make it only required if that question has been answered true. So I'm going to come over to validations and alerts. On my required section here, I'm going to select formula instead of yes or no, and I'm going to say the same thing that I did on the visibility. Okay. So I'm going to test this form real quick. So I'm going to fill out, and name of position is janitor. It's hourly wage, 10 or 20. All right, so I filled it out. I'm going to say yes, I'm eligible for employment. No, I'm not able to provide a valid driver's license. And yes, I'm available to work overtime. Okay. I provide a reference. And then in the next section, see how the driver's license question is in here. I'm going to go ahead and attach a file. It's attached to the form now. But I want to go back just to display how this works. I'm going to change my question on this driver's license question to yes. And now you'll see in the attachment section that this document, or this attached driver's license attachment is here and is required. So I'm going to come and also attach something there. So then I'm able to, I would have a submit button here. If this were published, I'd be able to submit it and it would give me a confirmation. So that's a quick form. There are a lot of other features available in PROFORMA. For example, if I want to map this document into a content management system such as Perceptive, what I can do is actually, just based on the name of the field here, we can map that information over into Perceptive as long as we've configured our connection on the server side. So what I would do is, if I wanted this, let's say I had last name as one of the index keys, I would name this last name field, let's say field 3. So on the document you've got fields 1 through 5. So this is field 3, and as long as that field is named just like that, this will actually map directly to the index key. Similarly, we can do custom properties by map to custom properties by typing CP underscore and then the custom property name. So phone, right? We also offer integration directly with OnBase. We can apply documents directly into there using keywords. And there are a lot of other features, such as the ability to perform a database lookup. I can actually, let's say I wanted to enter, I was already an employee and I want to enter my employee ID and retrieve my employee information. I could do that. There's a lot more in the way of customization you can do on the form itself. Additionally, you can support multiple languages on the form by adding a language, and then you can also, if you really want to, customize the look and feel of the form by actually editing the code of the form directly, which you can see is populated here in the source code. So a lot of power, but really easy and simple for end users to pick up. Thank you.